Aloha guys, it's Joe Tunney. I'm here visiting my friends at Kona Dodge in the Kona Auto Center here in the beautiful city of Kona on the big island of Hawaii. And if ever there was a truck that was made for the big island of Hawaii, this would definitely be it, the 2017 Ram Rebel Hemi. And the reason is, for those of you on the mainland, you haven't probably been to the big island of Hawaii before. We have some unbelievable beaches, some of the most amazing beaches in the entire world. They're just very difficult to get at, and so you have to go over miles of what was formerly hot lava and now is just unbelievably difficult and tumultuous terrain. It's worth it getting there because the beaches, again, are some of the very finest beaches in the world. But what you need is something that's powerful and heavy duty with lots and lots of ground clearance. This is your truck, the 2017 Ram Rebel. We're going to pop the hood. This does a lot of things really well. And that's interesting, but also how it does those things really well is also interesting. Just a really neat special truck. So one thing that you'll recognize in an instant is the Ram 5.7 liter Hemi engine, and this application, it's putting out 396 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. So always robustly powerful. What's unusual about this, being so heavy, being a lifted truck, being with off-road tires and all of that, it still actually gets 22 miles per gallon out on the open road, which isn't just good, it's fantastic for a truck of this kind. Hemis, as you may or may not know, came about in the World War II era. Not to belabor the point, but they were initially made for aircraft, and so they were designed for fighter planes. And so the original Hemis were V16 and V18 engines, and then they also made a V12 for the Patton tank during World War II. And so that's what Hemi's always been about, for not just industrial grade performance, but military grade performance. This one puts out an enormous amount of horsepower, just 5.7 liters and virtually 400 horsepower. But they marry it with a new ZF, or an actually new to this application ZF transmission that not only gets that power to the ground, 0 to 60 in under 7.5 seconds, but also returns amazing gas mileage. Let's take a look inside. Now, if you've heard my reviews before about Dodge diesel trucks, they have some of my favorite transmissions in the world for trucks, and that's the Aisin Seiki 68 and 69 series, which are just phenomenal transmissions. This does not have one of those quote-unquote truck transmissions. This has a car transmission, and so this is made by ZF, probably the best car transmission builder in the world. And so this is the 8 HP 70 series transmission, and so you just turn the dial and it tells you what gear that you're going to be in. No lever, no column, no anything like that. You just turn the dial and away you go. In fact, I'm going to turn it on and show you exactly how it works. If you haven't seen one before, if I want to go in reverse, I go in reverse. Rear view camera pops up automatically. If I want to go in drive, it's going to tell me to accept for my Uconnect, and away you go. Put it back in park. Great monitor, by the way. The gauge cluster on this car is far out. It's very similar to like what you're enjoying in the brand new highest end Range Rover. Now, that 8 HP 70 transmission, crazy as it sounds, although it's a car transmission, you see it in the Dodge lineup in the SRT 392. It's capable of handling 700 foot-pounds of torque. In fact, it's the same transmission that you'll find in the Rolls-Royce Phantom and the Aston Martin DB9. So high performance cars, bigger cars like the 7 Series BMW also have this exact same transmission. It's designed to handle a heavy load. It's designed to handle a lot of power, but it also gets realistic gas mileage, 22 miles per gallon on the open road. That's great, actually. Tons and tons of space, heated seats. This one, and I'll show you in a minute, but this one has adjustable ride height control as well. And so we talk about going over the really difficult off-road stuff. This is definitely the truck to do it in. Jumping in back, you'll notice too the seat covers, front and rear. This has 33-inch Toyo rubber on top of 17-inch alloy wheels, and then that tread pattern is carried over into the upholstery as well. So if you replace the tires, I hope you replace them with Toyos, or you might have to replace your seat inserts as well. But space, well, you have tons of space. And so they give you the option, do you want the seats folded up and then you can have a nice parcel shelf down below? Do you want the seats down and then they're very usable? But what's nice, if you're just the third wheel out on the open road, you still have plenty of space for your stuff, your cup holders and everything like that. All the space in the world here. This is actually a very roomy truck. It only comes this one way in a crew cab with a 5'7" bed. And then your Ram box is right here. And this is great. If you can peek in here, you could put all kinds of goodies in here. Very, very spacious, just built right into the side rail. Now, for towing. Well, you have a vehicle that's itself very, very heavy, and then you have a car, quote unquote, transmission. So it probably doesn't tow all that much, you might think. It actually tows extremely well. It tows 10,160 pounds. So not only does it perform at a great rate, 0 to 60 in less than 7.5, not only does it get really excellent gas mileage in the real world, 22 miles per gallon out on the open road, but also tows with the absolute best of them. And then check out the Bedliner. This thing is built to be abused. And so right out of the box, this is how they come. And very, very heavy duty, work oriented. Check out the nice lighting in the back as well. Also, the tracks are just simply part of the Rebel package. Taking a look around, well, you have the black fender flares. That's the 17-inch dedicated wheel with the Toyo Open Country 33-inch tires. It's not the same as a Ford Raptor. It doesn't try to be the same as a Ford Raptor. Ford Raptor is just one of the amazing high-performance off-road vehicles that have ever been made in the history of cars. But for a daily driver that's realistically priced, that does a lot of things incredibly well, this is an outstanding choice. Plus, it just looks so darn cool. Let's pop back inside. So I've got this one set pretty low. It might seem tall to you, but we can make it a little bit higher. So if we're gonna go off-road, all I'm gonna do is push this button. And so this has not only a Bilstein suspension package, I'm gonna go all the way up to the top, but it also has an air suspension package. And so at all four corners, it's integrated into the chassis of the vehicle. It's utterly seamless and it's really nice. So ground clearance, so huge. This one has skid plates underneath it. It needs it because it's designed to go off-road. Going off-road here on the Big Island means lava rock, which would just destroy the undercarriage of your car. This has 10.3 inches of ground clearance, so that's fantastic. And skid plates already as part of the package. This is a super, super fascinating truck. It doesn't matter if you're looking at a Tacoma, if you're looking at a Silverado, if you're looking at a Ford, whatever it is that you're looking at, before you pull the trigger on anything, I strongly encourage you to come just take one of these for a drive. If you're here in Hawaii, of course, visit my friends at on the Big Island here at Kona Dodge here in the Kona Auto Center. But wherever you are, wherever you call home, drive one of these Ram Rebels. They are very cool to look at. They turn heads like you can't believe. They're a blast to drive, and they do so many things so well. If you have any questions of me, my name's Joe Tunney. Reach out to me anytime at joeloveshawaii@gmail.com.